Yitzchak gives three brachot to his children in Parashat Toldot. The first is the bracha that Yitzchak gives to Yaakov, thinking that he's giving a bracha to Esav. The second is the bracha that Yitzchak gives to Esav, knowing that he is Esav. And the third is the one that he gives to Yaakov, knowing that he is Yaakov. And looking at these three brachot, Sam Rafael Hirsch and others who follow him suggest that Yitzchak was much more aware than we might at first glance think of the different characters and personalities and strengths of his two sons, and he wasn't maybe quite as naive as he sometimes seems to be. Yitzchak's theory was that Esav is the physical bounty and the strength, and Yaakov is the spiritual inheritor of the tradition of the patriarchs, and the brachot should be divided amongst them so that Esav will have this leadership role as the powerful son who is worldly and accomplishes things and can protect and provide, and Yaakov will have the spiritual mantle of the family. And what Rivka orchestrates and what ends up happening is that both of those brachot end up being combined, and they're both given to Yaakov. And that's maybe the upshot of this episode, is that our physical survival and flourishing and our spiritual survival and flourishing, the transmission of our spiritual treasures and our heritage from generation to generation, that also has to be linked with physical survival and flourishing. In Kemach, in Torah, in Torah, in Kemach, right? We have to have something. We have to be able to eat, and we also have to have Torah. There's no sense of speaking of Jewish continuity without Judaism to continue, right? That's the thing that we care about continuing from generation to generation. And in turn, Judaism can only propagate if there are Jews. And so that basic survival and flourishing of Jewish lives is necessary for Judaism to flourish, but it's Judaism flourishing and perpetuating itself that gives meaning to Jewish lives existing and perpetuating from generation to generation. And take a look at the source sheet, pay attention as you hear these three blessings read in Shul over Shabbat, and you'll see how Yitzchak's original plan to divide the brachot gets subverted, and right, the bracha he gives to the only bracha that's left for Esav after the main bracha for Esav had been given to Yaakov is very telling. And then the bracha that he gives to Yaakov, knowing that he was giving the bracha to Yaakov, presumably the bracha that was intended for Yaakov all along, right? These are very different blessings. So Yitzchak's plan was to divide, and the upshot of this whole episode is that actually the two cannot be divided, the two have to be brought together. Wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.